Okay guys, is your GY6 50cc scooter hard to start, or does it bog down when you're running, where you may need a valve adjustment guys? So today I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing we'll need to do guys is to get our seat opened, and mine doesn't have the center bolt here guys, so we need to just remove our seat like this. You don't need to necessarily do this guys, so we just need to open this so we can access the 4 nuts that are holding the seat panel in. And to do that guys, you'll need a 10mm socket. So you'll have 2 nuts at the top guys, and also 2 nuts down in the seat panel. So let's go ahead and get that removed guys. Also, when we get down to this plastic piece here, we'll need to remove these 2 screws, so that way we can access our valve cover housing guys. And please make note, there's also a washer under the nuts guys. Okay guys, so now that we got our 4 nuts removed, we can just set them aside in the cutout area there guys, and then we can just pull up on our seat and set that aside. So our next step guys, we'll remove these 2 Phillips screws with our Phillips screwdriver, so we can remove this panel here guys, which will give us easier access to the valve cover. So now we can just pull that out guys and set that aside. So here's our valve cover guys, and we got 4 bolts that we'll need to remove. 3 down here, and there's 1 on this other side guys, and we need a 8mm socket to remove those guys. And also we'll have to remove our ignition coil wire from our spark plug, as we need to remove our spark plug as well guys. So it doesn't matter which order you do that in, but please remember to remove your spark plug. Okay guys, so here's our spark plug socket, and this is a 5/8 socket guys. So let's get our spark plug removed. So now we can just go ahead and set that aside. So now guys, we'll go ahead and remove these 4 8mm bolts, and we can just pull off this breather hose right there guys. Please make note of your 2 ground wires whenever you are installing your valve cover. Please make sure they are grounded guys, or you'll have trouble starting your engine. Okay guys, so now we can just remove our valve cover, and now we have access to our intake valve and our exhaust valve, guys. Okay guys, so here's our camshaft, and I'll show you the markings to know that you're at top dead center. You can use your flywheel, guys, but I don't want to have to remove the plastic covering for that, and we'll just make life easier with using the Kickstarter, guys. So we'll just use the Kickstarter like this, gently rotating the engine over. So if you look, guys, it's kind of hard to get it with the camera, but you'll have two holes and a center hole at the top of the camshaft, guys, and a line on both of the holes at the side where you need to get that leveled with the cylinder head, and that's when you know you're at top dead center, guys. So I believe we're just about there. You can also stick something into your spark plug hole, and you can watch the movement of whatever you stick in there to know when the piston is at top dead center. So remember, guys, you have two lines, and you should have your center hole at the top, and you want the lines leveled with the cylinder head. Then we can do our valve adjustment. Okay guys, so now that we got the piston at top dead center, we can check for any play in our valves to know if we need to adjust them or not. So this is your intake valve, guys, and you should have at least a little bit of play, but this one is definitely closed, so we need to make some clearance on that valve, guys. And this is our exhaust valve. We do have some play on that, guys, so we'll just check to make sure the clearance is in spec. So okay guys, to make the adjustment to your valves, you'll need a feeler gauge which has a measurement of 0.10 millimeter, or you can use anything between 0.10 millimeters to 0.15 millimeters, guys. As you can see, mine is just shy of the 0.10, and I'll just lightly place the tappet onto the feeler gauge, guys, where I do not have too much drag, and that should at least put me within range for the specified valve clearance. So 0.10 millimeter to 0.15 millimeter valve clearance, guys. So the first thing we need to do is to loosen this nut, which is a 9 millimeter, guys. So you need a 9 millimeter open socket and also a needle nose pliers to hold the tappet whenever you make your adjustment, so that it doesn't go out of whack. So let's get that done, guys. So the first thing I'm going to do, guys, is to use my 9 millimeter opening wrench to loosen this nut. Not too much, guys, and then I can use my finger to turn out a bit on the tappet, and that's when the feeler gauge comes in, guys, where we'll just, as you can see, we have a tight drag on the tappet, guys, so we just want to tighten down that tappet where it's just dragging. If you have the correct feeler gauge, whether the 0.10, between 0.15, guys, anywhere in between that range, you'll want a firm drag on it, not too tight, but just a firm drag. So right now I know I'm at probably 0.08, so I just will loosen that just a bit, guys, where it's not dragging too much, and that's about 0.10. So I'm going to stick with that measurement, guys, and then I'm going to use my 9 millimeter socket and my needle nose pliers. First, getting my 9 millimeter wrench onto the nut, and then using my needle nose to hold the tappet in place while I tighten the nut, guys. You can use your finger first gently just to get it seated, and then we'll use our needle nose, and then we tighten it up like that, guys. Making sure you still have your clearance that you measured, and we still have our clearance, guys. So we just move on to our exhaust valve, guys, or before we even do that, we can just run a test. And this seems like it's a bit loose, so I'll just tighten that down just a bit, guys. So one was a bit tight and one is a bit loose, so we just make the necessary adjustments. Let's stick our feeler gauge in. And I feel comfortable with that, guys. Usually you want your exhaust valve just a bit more open than your intake. So let's get our 9mm on there, guys, and hold our tappet. And then we'll just tighten that down, guys. We can run back our feeler gauge to make sure we still have the clearance that we desire. So that's how you adjust your intake and exhaust valve, guys, on your GY6 50cc scooter. I hope this helps you. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. So all we got to do now, guys, is to do everything we done before in the reverse order. Get back our valve cover on. Get everything connected. Please remember your ground wires, guys. You do not want to forget that. So I'll catch y'all when I get everything connected and we'll crank her up, guys. There it is, guys. One kick and start. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you do have trouble starting your GY6 50cc scooter, just go ahead and check your valves, as it may be that, guys, or if even you have bogging down when running, check your valves. God bless. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.